What is going on, guys? It's CoJoMo here, back with another video. Today I want to explain to you how to solo queue to high levels in Counter-Strike 2. I'm going to teach you from personal experience how you can get to faceit level 10, high elo in Premier, and global elite in any map that you want with a few basic knowledge sets and just understandings of the game that we're going to learn today. But first, I want you to learn about how to trade Counter-Strike 2 skins and the best skin trading site possible. So I have a message from the sponsor of today's video. Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. With it being the holiday season, there is no better gift to give yourself than a new CS2 inventory. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code CoJo. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description. Alright, shout out to Skins Monkey. Let's get right into it. So, as you guys know, I am a high level player in Counter-Strike 2, and I actually solo queued for most of my time in this game. I have 13,000 hours, and I'd say a good amount, probably 4, 5, 6,000 of those hours were solo queuing and trying to grind through the game and get better through doing that. I got faceit level 10 through solo queuing. I played a lot of matchmaking solo queuing, and let me just preface this by saying it's not ideal. Nobody should want to solo queue, and it's definitely not how you are going to get the highest win rate possible, right? If you can, it's obviously better to queue with friends, players that are very good, and people that you know you can rely on, right? When you're solo queuing, the problem is you're going to have people just leave the game all the time, right? You're going to have people that are AFK, that are throwing, that are trying to de-rank, that are, team killing, just whatever, right? And this is something that you have to accept if you're going to solo queue. You have to accept it, right? Too many players solo queue and they just lose their mind as soon as one of these things happen, right? Especially when I was streaming a lot, I would play faceit and grind solo queue pugs. I would have people just purposely throwing just to try to make me mad and, anger me, whatever. It's just there's so many negative, toxic people out there that you have to be able to deal with them. You have to be able to have a strong mentality with these people and understand that even if they're being toxic, even if they're throwing, even if, they're not playing as they should, you need to still be a good teammate and do everything you can to win. So how do we win solo queuing? Now, the first thing that you have to be able to be good at if you ever want to be a good solo queuer, you have to be able to play off the radar, right? You're not going to get as many comms. You're not going to get good communication from solo queuing, right? Your randoms are not going to come to you. They might come completely wrong things to you. What you need to be good at is looking at the radar in the top of your screen and being able to read it and make decisions based on that. You should be able to glance at it and see where your teammates are positioned, where the enemies are, and you know exactly what you need to do off of that, right? And that's only going to come with practice and time. First, you can start off by just looking at the radar and seeing where your teammates are positioned. Nothing I hate more in solo queuing and playing Counter-Strike is the player that is just constantly saying, where are you? What should we do? Where are you? I don't know where anyone is. How you guys need to communicate with me more. No, man, they're on the radar. They show you exactly where they are. So stop whining that your teammates are not holding your hand and saying every single little thing to you, right? Your teammate doesn't need to tell you that he's playing right next to you, necessarily all the time. Obviously, communication is important, but I cannot stand the players that whine about people not updating their position every single second, right? You don't need to. There's a radar. But it's just a healthy balance, right? So learn how to play off the radar. Eventually, when you master it, you're going to be able to look at the radar and see the enemies pop up on the, on the map. You'll see the dots pop up. Be like, okay, the enemy is here. My teammate didn't comment, but I'm still going to get the frag because I know exactly where he is, right? So radar is huge. Radar is absolutely huge. And with the radar comes positioning. So your positioning is probably, one of the most important things at solo queuing. Your positioning is so vital because you can't rely on your teammates when you're solo queuing. You don't know who you're going to get, And game to game, it's going to come down to your personal skill more often than not. When you're queuing with people, you're going to know where they are playing and what their tendencies are. But when you're solo queuing, you have no idea what the tendencies of these players on your team are. So you need to be able to be confident and learn how to play spots where you can play and be solo, right? And I'll just quickly plug my channel. I teach you guys how to do this stuff across a lot of videos. So if you're struggling to rank up, watching my videos is going to strengthen these skills that you need, right? So you need to learn how to be able to be solid in one position, you know, in one spot, and not have to worry about if your teammates are going to get kills or not. You know, that could be sitting in a corner or playing an off angle or pushing through apartments to get the flank going, right? It's just a lot of ways you can do that without teamwork, because teamwork is not always going to be there when you're solo queuing. It is not a given. It is just a bonus if teamwork is there. And with that being said, there's going to be toxic players, so you have to be able to mute them. Too many people just let toxic players sit there and scream and yell and do all these things. And it's not even toxic players. Sometimes your teammates are just awful. I've been in games where I'll literally lose the game if I don't mute my teammates, because they are just actively spamming the mics with stupid stuff. They're, you know, trolling, they're screaming into the mic, they're giving awful communication. They're saying the wrong thing. They're saying, you saw him here and he's on the other side of the map, right? Like, it's just not worth it, guys. If you think that you are sufficient enough and you want to be able to solo queue, you have to be able to mute your teammates sometimes. And with that being said, do not be the teammate that's toxic and just mutes them and doesn't say a word. What I do when I come across this is I just mute the players that are the problem, or everybody if everyone in there is the problem, and I sit there and I still communicate. I say, all right, there's 2 on B, you can rotate off A, or, you know, there's four guys out middle, they're going into connector. You know, I just give these comms that they can still hear me, but I just don't need to hear what they're saying because they're just trolling, right? And with that being said, you have to be calm, right? You have to be calm with these people. If you start screaming and raging at them, it's only going to make them want to rage quit, and you're going to have an awful time. Just a horrible time, right? So these are kind of the overviews that I wanted to give you as far as what you can do when you're solo queuing. You're not going to win every game, and you have to have a good mentality that, you know, you might lose the game. You might lose the next 5 games, but it's just the risk you take when you solo queue, and you got to be able to take the losses and learn from them. So at the end of the day, it's up to your personal skill, and it's very, you know, relaxing sometimes for me to solo queue. I don't have to worry about performing to my friends or anyone. So solo queuing can be great, man. Like it can be great. It just comes down to your mentality, and you have to look at it the right way. It's going to be hard sometimes. It's going to be impossible to win, but you just got to shake it off and go to the next game, or you're never going to get better. So just keep working on your personal skills. Check out my channel so that you can learn how to get better at this game. Go ahead and click the 2 videos you see on your screen right now. They will help you out a lot, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.